Hello and welcome. My name is Hunter and we're here again with our man. I've been really thinking about what I'm going to do about this. At that last episode, I was committing to like 3 or 4 more episodes, and then I had a restful weekend. I thought, am I really going to do that? Really going to do that? I could be playing, like, here's the thing, okay? This was never supposed to be a long-term series. We might as well run. It was always supposed to be temporary while I got ready, and to be frank, as of today, I am sure that I'm ready. So I don't know how much more time I should spend on this series. I have an idea, and I'm going to spend a lot of this episode discussing the idea. It's not fully hammered out, but it is close. Basically, I want to play sort of a young wanderer, maybe. Grew up. Destitute small town who starts as an adventurer. And then we're going to go through the process of going from adventurer to trying to, like, make it. But, you know, while we're trying to make it, we're going to be, like, trying to make it in sort of a, I don't know how to say it. But we're not going to obey the rules, and we're gonna push real hard. We're gonna cheat and lie and do everything we can to get what we want. Probably a character who's quite corrupt. Try to build a family. Try to raise ourselves up, and then from there we'll follow it on. The idea is sort of to try to get a character, try to get a situation where we like stay regional. Now have another son. Good, that's 3 sons though. Since I discovered a son last episode that I didn't think I had. What is with me not realizing that that was a son? I was not paying attention enough, I guess. We got a bunch of things going on. I'm thinking of like starting as an unlanded adventurer. I don't know exactly how this works, but I'll work it out in the first episode if I have to start the first episode multiple times. Well, we'll travel a bit to maybe a large city that's like better funded, and then we'll try to get ourselves a manor, and then we'll try to build ourselves up from nothing. The starting as an adventurer is mostly just going like an RP. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I have an idea of the story. I have an idea of how we're going to build the character. What the idea is. We're not going to be shooting for any specific goal. Rather, we're going to be trying to just tell a sort of semi-natural story in the area. I think that is the best way to handle it, considering the fact that it's not exactly... I don't know. Part of me wants to go from poor nobody to the hegemon, but part of me thinks that that's not really what I want to do. How do I explain this in the best way? I want... Basically what I want to do is I want to follow the character naturally. I'm going to build a character who's got a specific ideology, and unlike in previous series, I'm actually going to start building... As we go, I'm going to start building characters that are going to be potentially my heir as we progress. So I'm going to decide who they are, and even try to get them to participate more. It's difficult to do that in this game. It doesn't really help you. Just arrest this brazen fool. We'll do this. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what I want realistically. I don't think there's much more that I can do with this particular. It's becoming clear, I guess, that the main reason probably means my son. Well, I mean, it doesn't probably. It absolutely means my son no longer has somebody educating him. Try to find somebody who could at home. I so we'll just talking. Originally talking about the reality is my purpose for doing this is pretty completed. I'm feeling pretty confident that I understand how this works well enough that my plans won't be utterly ruined by gigantic and enormous, moving forward. I haven't really decided what area I'm going to play in either. Part of me almost wanted to not do this episode. But I said in the last episode I was going to do a couple more episodes, so I thought I should at least do one more. But kind of how things work, Once I really know what I'm going to do with an RP, whatever I'm doing in lead up to it sort of starts to not feel interesting anymore, right? Like, I guess I paid for her. I don't want to give her money. I didn't even mean to click that, I don't think. Either that or I did an event that started it. I don't know. I'm trying to talk. I've noticed that it gets very hard to get merit as you go. And that realistically, this is another area of... which is how do we push this better? I know a couple of things. Instead of taking money, we could be getting our elder to be helping us out. He could be pushing us forward, using our own influence to do this, right? Supposed to go to my disciple here. Get good results. Passed his exam. I think the reality is we're gonna have to take. I'm gonna have to I'm ready to start. That's the reality. Reality is that this session of play exists only because I came to the realization when I was that I am quite ready to at least make a serious at a real RP. I kind of think I could have some fun. Part of me, also, I've said this before, wants to play in the Mongolian era. The thing I find interesting playing in the Mongolian era is that we will probably... I don't actually know how unified are we. Part of me wants to just like explore the other game possibilities while we're moving forward. And yeah, there's quite a few different things I'm thinking of doing. Oh, she is not really a fun kind of, but to him, I mean, if this was a more serious RP, I'd absolutely come of age. Okay, so what happened here is he got a superb education, but his base stat is like just bad. His superb education just like makes him slightly above average. Now, that's one of the problems with letting other people educate your children that comes up in the game a lot. It is good for randomization and some fun things can happen, but it gives me no influence over his traits, and having no influence over his traits meant got nothing here helping. I also think what happened? Oh, my friend died. Sucks. I've been overwhelmed by stress. I can take this. I probably am also ready to drink some tea. Marrying our son off. That later, I think. It's a little bad either, right? Worked really hard to get him an appointment, and it wasn't enough. Candidate score. I kind of wish there were a few more ways to affect the candidacy. I feel like the one thing that I don't really like make use of, I'm not really figuring out or using enough. It's the political movement. I feel like that is something. Maybe that's what we should spend. Because that feels like what I'm really not seeing. So the expansion movement are definitely the bosses. The conservatives, the unaligned. There are other rulers who are supporting the government itself, the song. I am the leader. Okay, so the government effects. So host a debate. We could join a debate. I don't think there are any. Okay. Like, oh, so we can basically buy merit, sending treasury to people. Okay, that's something I didn't know. That's definitely something that the could be useful. Let's look at the other people. Sort of these guys. They want out, and these guys want things to stay the same. Positive character interaction and scheme. Negative interaction for scheme. Receive a disadvantage. Basically, this allows us to mess with the Emperor more. That could be interesting. Here. Third dynastic cycle things we power. Could definitely get more political in the next game. But yeah, I feel like I've I feel like I'm really done here. This was never really intended to be a long game or for me to really succeed at much of anything. I didn't know what I was going to do or how long it would take for me to get an idea. But now that I truly have an idea, I think it might be time to start an RP. Which means doing some research over the next day and then maybe getting the first episode out on Wednesday or Friday. Kind of the hope. But yeah. So we spent some time with our poet friend, just trying to get used to the rules, and I feel like we've done as much as I want to do with this. I could spend another, I don't know, 15 minutes just like messing around in the interface and stuff. I mean, there might be other things that we could discover. The Silk Road stuff really doesn't work for us because we're Chinese. You guys have really been pushed quite a lot. Been a lot of catalysts. The most ominous catalyst is yeah. So they're pushing toward. This is happening a lot. Expansion movements happening a lot. Must have been dismissing a lot of demands, I'm guessing. Seem to be doing pretty well. They really seem to be doing pretty well. But, you know, I think after really thinking through what I've been trying to do and like the purpose that these episodes fill, I've realized that now that I am ready to move on to the other two things I want to do. These episodes aren't really perfect. So I just wanted to do like a proper goodbye, and I rambled for 15 minutes, which is probably a waste of everybody's time, but sure, there's not much I can do about it. We'll call this the last episode. Yeah, I know I said I was going to do more. I really thought I would, but then I couldn't figure out why. That's the big thing that happens with these kinds of like intermediate series with me all the time, where like I kind of get to a point where I'm not sure what else to do, because I want to get on to the thing now that I'm ready, right? Like I'm expecting maybe to spend tomorrow and the next day in research, and then Thursday and Friday we can put out both a POD episode and a real first RP. RPs are what I do, so I feel like it kind of makes sense that this would end early like this. I mean, I'm just worried. I'm just worried about it ending it all of a sudden, so suddenly when I said I was going to do more episodes. That's it. And it's fine. It's fine. This channel has always been about slow role plays, and it's already been a little bit weird that I put them on break for the beginning of this DLC in order to do this. I would like to get that first roleplay started as soon as possible. I think this is going to be the last episode. We're going to end it here. We didn't get as far as we wanted to, but I definitely feel like I stably understand the rules. I know sort of what's going on. My understanding isn't so deep that I won't still make discoveries or have new things to try or discover, which is kind of good for a new RP. But at the same time, I do find one of the problems I was having is not having enough money. But I kind of have an idea for the start of the next series. I'm not sure. I like to start series the way I started the Step series, which is to start as an adventurer and then go into things, and I think that might be good, but I also have an idea for starting as a nobody in the middle of nowhere, but I think that's better represented by being in it. Like, just a basic idea for the people who are still here, which has got to be nobody except the very most loyal. And thank you to all of you who have been so loyal. I think what I want to do is like, I don't know. I want to pick some place that's like far in the boonies. Like, then I want to sort of come into the city as an adventurer with the literal goal of like making myself into like building a prominent family, but through deceit, right? Like we're not going to be trying to like prove that we're part of some great family. No, we're trying to get in here and pretend that we belong and that we're significant enough, get enough money to buy a manor and start getting ourselves taken seriously, and then try to wrestle our way up. I haven't decided whether or not we'll spend a whole generation as a ne'er-do-well, and then have the second generation try to actually like use the bad things taught to them by their parents, by their father, to like push the narrative. I don't know, but I do want this to be the first series that takes full use of all the new things. The fact that we don't always have to take our direct heir, you know, the fact that you can become an adventurer if needed. I might even install the mod that allows you to become an adventurer when you can't otherwise. I find that super interesting. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So with that, though, I'm going to bring this episode to a short end. I'm really sorry that there wasn't much in it, but I really felt like one more episode had to come out so that I could explain why why I didn't do the other episodes I was going to. And you know, I'm not really. The series is clearly, I'm just sort of, and that's what happens when I'm not directed by Roleplay, right? Mess around. And I think part of the thing that this series should illustrate is why I am such a strong advocate of role-playing. It is hard to keep this game interesting to me, and also definitely to viewers, if there's no plan, if there's no intent. And for me, the easiest way to get a plan or intent is very soon. I'm not going to give any exact promises. Hopefully before the end of this week, you should see the part 1 of my new I'm gonna even just use the term rags to riches style new RP, and we should see something for Princess of Darkness in this week too. I hope to get them both done. I mean, I have a whole week, right? So I wouldn't expect any videos tomorrow unless I do like a little intro video. I wouldn't expect any videos on Wednesday, but by Thursday I should have the first POD episode ready, and by Friday I should have the first of the new RP ready. Thank you for everybody who watched this series in spite of it being very different and much less focused than what I usually do, and hopefully the new RP is, well, like I always hope with every one of my RPs, the best one yet. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.